Those are rib bones.
I'm not.
Heard somebody like drilling.
The girl, is she okay?
Echoes call from hollow halls, a voice that creeps and softly crawls. Time stands still, the air is.
Roughly 4 years ago, YouTuber Florida Johnny Boy uploaded a video that was meant to be lighthearted, but unexpectedly took a very unsettling turn. What he thought would be a simple comedic fishing vlog quickly transformed into a bizarre forest exploration that left Johnny and his companion shaken by what they found. At the start, Johnny and his partner headed out for a casual fishing trip. They're in good spirits, joking around, and even playfully blowing dandelions to make wishes. However, plans for a how to fish professionally video are quickly scrapped when they realize there are no good fishing spots available.
So originally this was going to be a funny video about how to fish professionally. However, I decided against that because there's no real open spots right now that I wanted to actually shoot the video. So this is now a vlog.
Ah! Whoa, look at all this. Are these arrowheads? What are these?
Arrowheads? Where do you think it goes?
It's spooky forest.
So if you look, this just opened up significantly going this way. Oh my god.
I got you.
Oh my
Look
god.
at my big finger.
Oh my crap. Jesus.
Good?
Nope. If you don't stop with that damn stick.
Yeah! Ow! That was scary. Can I touch it?
Yeah.
Oh, look at it. Look. Those have to be its spores. That's cool.
So we had to double back because we realized that we left everything in the truck, and that's not the best idea, considering anybody at any time while we're in the middle of the woods here can just show up and take all of our stuff. Yo, that is creepy looking. That's where we're heading. Okay, so this isn't even a trail, it's a creek bed. It's still pretty cool though. Minus the spider webs on my face.
While exploring off-trail, Johnny comments that they're practically walking through a spooky forest, with no clear path. They come across what Johnny jokingly calls Pennywise's home. What follows confirms that this outing was about to become anything but ordinary.
Look, are these like bones? Are these bones? Bro, there's bones! Alright, these are rib bones at the same time.
Those are rib bones.
I'm not okay.
They're all in the well right there.
There's a bunch. I don't like this, Dad. Let's just see if there's anything else. Oh! What?
There's more bones.
No way.
Yeah.
What the f is that? Is that a thigh bone?
So not only do we come across Pennywise's house, we found a bunch of rib bones and what appears to be,
Gravy?
look, it's cut right there. Right here on this piece. It looks like it was like cut through or something. This is exactly how horror movies start.
Suddenly, they stumble upon a collection of bones scattered on the forest floor. At first, they aren't sure what they're looking at. Rib bones, a piece that appears to be a thigh, and oddly cut or broken remains are partially buried in the dirt. Johnny points out that the bones look unnervingly clean and suspects they may have been cut by something or someone. The discovery quickly turns serious, as they debate whether the remains are from an animal or a human. The tension grows when Johnny emphasizes, this is exactly how horror movies start. As they inspect further, Johnny notices a glass bottle nearby.
Did you ever see a glass bottle? You ever see a glass bottle with a hole in it?
Let me see.
Perfectly like that? Look at that. I'm really curious as to what kind of bones those are. That bottle just broke.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you serious?
It just broke.
Like it was just sitting on the ground.
Yeah. Did you not hear it?
Uh-uh.
I set it down and then I was doing something over there and then I just heard like a crack and... Yo, what?
Like, look at this, Dad. Look. This is a tendon.
Yeah.
This is too. And look, this looks like it pivots. So I'm pretty sure this is like a fucking...
Yeah, but that's cut.
Yeah. Look at that. That's somebody's fucking leg. That's a fucking knee. I don't know, man. I'm not okay with this, though.
Dude, watch this like end up being like that movie, The Ritual.
Oh, no.
We start seeing strange carvings in the trees and whatnot.
I would be like, okay, we're going home now.
So that is pretty interesting.
Bizarrely, after placing it down, the bottle spontaneously shatters behind him with an audible crack. They theorizes whether the bones might belong to a large animal, but the clean cuts and odd placement of the remains cast doubt. Johnny even wonders aloud whether they've stumbled upon a crime scene, mentioning the eerie similarity to scenarios portrayed in movies like The Ritual. Unable to shake their curiosity, Johnny and his partner return to the site the next day to investigate further.
So we are heading back to the same place and we found the bones because we want to see whether or not we can find any more kind of in the area. Because they look suspiciously human, especially the rib bones. And it is very difficult to tell when it comes to rib bones anyway. I would rather, say someone did get killed out here, or from, another location or something, and they got dumped out here. And we're back.
Like, I'm in panic mode right now. I'm not okay.
So this is where we found these bones. The other bones were right here. Now the winds are picking up. That's creepy.
They're both clearly anxious. As they start digging, they discover even more bones, including what appears to be part of a spinal column, tailbone, and additional rib fragments.
We found what looks to be the tail end, because that looks like the butt bone.
So it means that it's all under here, whatever it is. Oh, I found something else right here. That's a spine.
Is it?
Yeah, that's a spine.
We're gonna keep working on this. We'll be back.
Oh, this goes deep. Do you see it?
I see it. Yep.
Is this a spine?
Yeah.
But what from?
I don't know. The curious thing is to why it's there of all places. So I'm noticing we're finding all the rib bones right there.
Yeah.
The head's got to be in this area.
Uh-huh. Look, the further back it goes that way, more looks like it's starting to get towards the tailbone, so...
So we have found the rest of the bones. It looks, I don't know, it might be a dog or a deer or something like that. We're not actually 100% sure. And now it's starting to rain on us. So after spending about an hour digging, these are all the bones.
The fact that the bones are partially buried suggests they had been intentionally concealed, which only heightens the vibe. The structure of the spine initially resembles that of a coyote or large canine, but later Johnny speculates that the skeleton may belong to a calf or baby cow, since the spine doesn't perfectly match that of a coyote. Despite these possibilities, the clean-cut appearance of some of the bones continues to feel suspicious and odd. The situation is made even more bizarre by the fact that Johnny leaves his partner alone for a brief period to answer nature's call, but it added a bit of comedic relief. Johnny, while alone, his partner hears a loud crash and screams for Johnny to return. The sudden unexplained noise only adds to the unsettling nature of their discovery. In the aftermath, Johnny admits that when he heard his partner's scream, he panicked. After hours of digging and closely examining the bones, they cautiously conclude that the remains may belong to a calf rather than a human. However, the entire experience leaves both unsettled. The unexpected discovery of bones in a remote, non-trail area combined with bizarre occurrences like the breaking glass bottle and loud crashes suggest that this wasn't an ordinary day in the woods. What did you make of this encounter? Let me know. Before moving forward, do me a favor and give this video a like and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're trying to hit 100,000 subscribers before August, and I also got a surprise for you once we reach 100K. Now, enjoy the rest of the video and watch till the end because there's a hidden word somewhere in the video for you. Let's see if you can comment the hidden word correctly. In this video uploaded by Ray RLC, a YouTube channel known for sharing real-life creepy and paranormal experiences, a simple overnight wildlife recording turned into something far more disturbing. The video, posted on May 26, 2025, began like many of Ray's other explorations, a quiet trip into nature to capture footage of local animals, but this time, what was caught on camera would leave both Ray and his viewers deeply unsettled. Ray had chosen a remote forest trail for this particular recording session. The area was peaceful, seemingly undisturbed by human activity, and marked with fresh animal tracks, a perfect spot for observing wildlife. As part of his process, Ray carefully set up a trail camera and an audio recorder to run through the night.
I found a deer trail. Look where it goes. So I, parked down that way, walked up here. It keeps going on up there. And I want to look up that way up the trail. So, I think the perfect spot would be right here. This good old spot. And just look straight up there, and if any deer come walking by, I'll catch them. So I need to get the trail cam and set it up. And we got her. So here's the trail cam, got it set up. It's facing over there perfectly, but I've got a nice little treat for you guys. There's the sound recorder. Okay, so I'm gonna have the trail cam going. I'm also gonna have the sound recorder going. I'm going to listen to the audio first, and then the trail cam, just to see what we hear and then what we see. Because that's kind of the fun, you hear something and then see it later. But this is not going to be motion detected, because sometimes, especially if it's small, and I've got another issue too, I don't know. It's because the thing is, I have the trail cam directly on the trail. Trail cams do best at like an angle, not like this or like this, at an angle. Like this. But I have this going straight up. If something's coming right at me, sometimes the trail cam just doesn't want to move for it. It should, but sometimes it doesn't. So in order to not risk that, instead I'm just going to do a time lapse. I think time lapses are more fun anyways. If something changes but doesn't catch a motion sensor, it'll do that too. And that's why I prefer that. So we're going to get this going. I'll get that going. And I'll come pick these up tomorrow morning.
After getting everything positioned, Ray made his way back out of the forest before nightfall, encountering only a single person on the way back to his car. The brief encounter was uneventful, but it did leave him with a faint worry that someone might tamper with the equipment during the night. The next morning, Ray returned to retrieve his gear.
Oh, I think we're in luck. Nope, didn't get stolen. It's still here. Okay. There's my stuff, still here, waiting for me. In the outer quarter, it looks like it turned off. That's okay. It just means the batteries died probably not long ago. So Well, we'll see how much audio we get. It's made so that as soon as the battery dies, or right before the battery dies, it stops the recording and then dies, so you don't get corrupted or lose it. So we'll be okay. We'll see what kind of audio we got, see what kind of video we got. I'm really excited about that. Let's turn these off and take them down.
To his relief, everything appeared to be exactly where he had left it. The audio recorder had stopped at some point, likely due to dead batteries, but nothing seemed out of place or disturbed. With no immediate concerns, he packed up and headed home to review the footage. What initially appeared on the recordings was typical: deer, raccoons, and other small animals moving through the forest. But then Ray stumbled upon one particular clip that stopped him cold. In the dim, grainy footage, a shirtless man appeared on screen, crawling across the forest floor. He moved slowly, and clutched in one hand was a large axe. The man carried no flashlight, made no sounds, and moved with a deliberate pace that felt more like something from a horror movie than reality. Ray could barely believe what he was seeing. The man had seemingly emerged from the darkness without any explanation, creeping through the woods in complete silence, armed and shirtless, in the dead of night. The sight of this lone figure crawling with an axe instantly sent a surge of unease through Ray. What was this person doing out there? And more importantly, why? The area Ray had chosen was remote, not a common hiking destination, especially not at such an odd hour. It was difficult to imagine any reasonable explanation for someone to be wandering through that particular section of the forest at 4 a.m., much less while holding an axe. One detail that stood out was the methodical way the man moved. He wasn't stumbling or appearing to seek help. Instead, he looked like a man with purpose. His lack of any visible light source made it even more baffling. This man moved with the confidence of someone who knew exactly where he was going. Ray's viewers were equally disturbed by the footage. In the comments, some suggested that the man could have been mentally unstable, acting out bizarre behavior without any rational cause. Others theorized more sinister intentions, that he may have been hunting for someone or something under cover of darkness. A few even wondered whether this was part of some cult-like ritual or an act of predation. Perhaps most disturbing of all was the realization that Ray could have easily been there when this happened, had he chosen to camp overnight, or if his timing had been slightly different. In the end, Ray was thankful that he wasn't present when this mysterious event unfolded. In May of 2017, a YouTuber named Robert posted what would become both his first and only video. Despite only ever uploading a single clip, that one recording has unsettled and captivated thousands of viewers ever since. Robert had ventured deep into the woods, far from any towns, roads, or other campers, and as night fell, the trip that started as a calm evening under the stars soon became one of the most unsettling experiences of his life. Sometime after sunset, while sitting quietly at his campsite, Robert began to notice strange flickers of light appearing deep within the dark forest surrounding him. At first, he assumed they might be fireflies or perhaps distant campers using lanterns, but as he observed more closely, it quickly became clear that these were neither. Realizing something unusual was happening, Robert grabbed his camera and began filming. Through the camera lens, the lights became even more defined. They shimmered and pulsed as they hovered in place, almost as if they were aware of being watched. Several times the lights would drift slowly between trees, pausing momentarily before freezing entirely. For nearly 15 minutes, Robert filmed as the strange orbs continued their silent, almost hypnotic dance. The footage shows multiple lights, sometimes 2 or 3 visible at once, each moving independently. Occasionally, one light would shift slightly forward, only to stop suddenly, remaining still for long stretches of time. The behavior was unsettlingly intentional, far too controlled to be random or natural. Throughout the entire recording, there was no sound accompanying the lights, and no voices or footsteps that would indicate people. What struck many viewers later was the overwhelming sense of intelligence behind the lights. They did not behave like mere anomalies or environmental phenomena. After uploading the footage, Robert's video quickly gained attention. While some skeptics speculated about the possibility of distant drone activity or unusual reflections, others felt there was something far more extraordinary at play. One particular viewer left a comment that only deepened the mystery. The commenter claimed that he and his daughter had witnessed the same floating lights while hiking in that very same forest some months earlier. According to his account, the lights behaved in much the same way, appearing suddenly, floating between the trees, and remaining eerily silent. The idea of this being an isolated experience quickly faded. Instead, it suggested a repeating phenomenon that may have occurred multiple times in that forest, witnessed by different people. Paranormal enthusiasts began offering theories ranging from spirits to interdimensional beings, while others even floated the possibility of some form of extraterrestrial presence. There were no reports of meteorological phenomena or scientific conditions that could explain stationary glowing orbs hovering low within the forest canopy, moving independently in such controlled ways. Robert's total disappearance from YouTube afterward only deepens the mystery. Despite the viral interest in his footage, he never posted any follow-up videos or updates. His channel remains inactive to this day. Like always, I'll let you draw your own conclusion to this encounter as well. Lou Rock, the YouTuber, and his team returned to one of the most unsettling locations they've ever explored, an abandoned hospital. The footage shows their late-night visit to the building that once operated as a tuberculosis sanatorium, a mental hospital, and later a drug rehab center. Even before entering, Lou acknowledges how dangerous this location is.
Whoa. Dude, I don't even want to look into the rooms. And look at the lights around in this hallway. Like, that's freaking crazy. Dude, whoa. When I was in high school, I used to come down here. Alright. Wow. What is up, guys? We are in this crazy hospital again. Guys, it is so freaking scary here at nighttime. I don't even know how to explain it. It's crazy. For one, like, there's like a really good chance that there's somebody else in here with us, because the last time I was here, we found a tent here. You just heard something? The last time I was here, I found a tent here, and it looked like somebody was sleeping here. So, and the very first time that I was here, I actually heard somebody in here drilling. I'm bumping into stuff. Guys, the very first time I was in here, I actually heard somebody like drilling and probably ripping stuff apart. But the craziest part was actually seeing the tent, like somebody's camping out in here.
On previous visits, they had encountered unsettling signs that someone may be squatting inside, including a fully set up tent. As they step into the hospital's dimly lit hallways around 3 a.m., the atmosphere immediately changes. The long corridors feel endless. As they go deeper into the building, both Lou and his companion feel increasingly uneasy, as though they're not alone.
Guys, we're keeping the lights down for now. We don't want to be too obvious here. Dude, this is the creepiest hallway. This is like going through Nightmare on Elm Street. Like, no joke. We just came from that way. I'm literally shaking in my boots. Yeah, I'm scared a little bit. This is crazy. I've done some stupid stuff. This has got to be right up there with some of the stupidest. Guys, this was an old hospital. The electricity's still on. It's like so creepy. Dude, this is just creeping me out.
Despite the hospital's abandonment, the electricity inside strangely still works. Phones remain operational, emitting dial tones when buttons are pressed. Throughout the investigation, Lou conducts multiple spirit box sessions. Several direct and disturbing EVPs, which stands for electronic voice phenomena, come through.
Guys, my camera was just freaking off. We're getting crazy EVPs in here. It just said 3, right? Just like clear. Who's here with us? What is your name? What was this hospital used for? Can you tell us what they did in this hospital?
Wait. Be careful.
Oh, dude. There's somebody out there. Yo, I definitely heard somebody out there. What's that?
The responses suggest that some of the building's former patients or residents may still be there in some form. As they continue to explore the upper floors, Lou swears he repeatedly hears footsteps and whispers in rooms they had just checked.
Yo, dude, I'm hearing some crazy shit. I'm hearing some crazy ass stuff. Dude, why will my camera not focus? Can't see. What do you think's in there? Yo, bro. This is the door. This is the door that was locked last time I was here. This one right here.
At one point, they come across a door that was previously locked on earlier visits but now stands open. However, the most disturbing discovery of the entire investigation happens inside a decaying restroom.
Guys. Oh, I can't see nothing. Why can't I see nothing? There's the blue light. Guys, those look like human freaking teeth. Those are human teeth, dude.
Yeah, I mean...
Turn the light on. Hold on. Yeah, they got freaking cavities in them. Well, I mean, anything could have a cavity, but dude, those are filled cavities.
They look old.
Whose teeth are these?
I don't know. That's weird.
Are you kidding me? That is nasty. Just sitting in a sink.
Sitting inside an old sink, they find what appear to be multiple human teeth, some with cavities and even metal fillings still intact. As Lou examines the grisly find, it becomes increasingly clear that these aren't animal teeth. The presence of dental work rules out most animal possibilities, leaving only the horrifying conclusion that these were once human remains. Their equipment continues to malfunction, batteries rapidly drain, and their walkie-talkies suddenly activate on their own, suggesting possible interference either from unseen forces or someone else in the building. Lou and his teammate try to maintain composure, but even experienced urban explorers know when enough is enough. They repeatedly hear shuffling footsteps and faint whispers coming from other areas of the hospital. Even as they attempt to exit the building, Lou hears one final set of loud noises that confirm their suspicions. They aren't alone inside. Whether it was another person secretly inhabiting the hospital or something paranormal remains unknown. In March 2023, the YouTube channel Nicolay and Brian documented one of the most terrifying moments of their travels while road tripping in their van across Oklahoma. Known for sharing their adventures and life on the road, this particular episode took a shocking turn as they found themselves face to face with one of nature's most violent forces. The day began like any other as they arrived in Oklahoma and parked their van near a scenic lake. However, things quickly changed when they checked the weather forecast. What was supposed to be a peaceful stop became anything but as alerts started flooding in. A severe storm, accompanied by multiple tornado watches and extreme wind warnings, was heading directly toward their location. Though locals appeared calm, even strolling casually through the parking lot, Nicolay and Brian, unfamiliar with tornado territory, were growing increasingly nervous. Despite their anxiety, they decided the safest choice was to stay in their van and ride out the storm. As ominous clouds gathered, winds picked up dramatically.
I don't know if you guys can hear this, but there's a loud tornado thing going. I don't know what we're supposed to do.
Here comes the hail. There's a person running. I feel terrible. It's a girl. Is she okay? There's a man who went into the convenience store and literally I thought he was going in for shelter. Look at that man. He's a freaking... It is not pleasant out there. We're not used to this, y'all, so this is a little scary.
We're just gonna wait it out. We're gonna be okay.
The worst of the storm is coming through, so it's just a little scary to see it coming and then it arriving. I don't know how y'all deal with this all the time. I really do not. The winds are crazy. I've never experienced winds like this.
We don't want them to just stop and pick up again. That means you're in like an eye of a storm.
The weather sirens wailed loudly. At one point, Mikulta spotted a young woman running desperately for shelter, while another man casually walked into a nearby convenience store. Brian's father kept close watch from afar, feeding them updates on the approaching storm via live TV since their own signal was limited. Within minutes, the worst of the storm slammed into Norman, Oklahoma, where they were stationed. Winds exceeded 70 miles per hour. The couple braced themselves as their van rocked under the force of the gale. The power of the storm became all too real as they witnessed power lines snapping, debris flying, and roofs being ripped from buildings. News footage confirmed the devastation across Norman and surrounding areas. Houses lost entire upper floors, windows were blown out, and structures were gutted from the force of the winds. Incredibly, despite being in the thick of it, both Nicolay, Brian, and their van emerged physically unharmed. They counted themselves extremely fortunate, knowing how easily the outcome could have been tragically different. Once the storm cleared, they cautiously returned to their previous campsite near Lake Thunderbird. The van had shielded them from immediate harm, but the reality of what could have happened left a heavy weight on their hearts. Determined to turn the page and continue their adventure, they made a stop along the famous Route 66 at a quirky soda shop, Pop 66 Soda Ranch, known for offering over 700 unique soda flavors. There, they allowed themselves a brief moment of levity, laughing over bizarre drink names. It was a welcome distraction after such a nerve-wracking experience. What started as one of the scariest nights of their lives ultimately strengthened their bond and deepened their appreciation for the kindness of strangers and the resilience of nature. What did you make of this encounter? Like always, let me know. This encounter takes us deep into the eerie and heavily rumored Skinwalker Forest, courtesy of YouTuber Cursed Urban. Uploaded by the channel's host Dan, this particular investigation unfolded across a long, eventful night, one that would leave him both unsettled and intrigued by the forest's strange behavior. Dan returned to this ominous location after months away, revisiting a part of the woods where on a previous visit, something had thrown a stick at him from the darkness.
The last time I was at this part of the forest, something threw a stick at me from the darkness. It's definitely one of the scariest encounters I have ever had.
This area, known among his viewers as Skinwalker Forest, has gained notoriety not only from Dan's investigations but also from numerous other reports of paranormal activity, unexplained creatures, and disturbing encounters. The forest has long been rumored to harbor dangerous entities, including the infamous Skinwalker, a shapeshifter from Native American folklore. As nightfall set in, Dan ventured down the trail leading into the forest, instantly noting how the area had been oddly tidied up since his last visit.
But yeah, it looks like they really came back here, mulched up this wood, and kind of distributed it down this trail, because I don't remember it being like this last time I was here.
What was previously a rough, overgrown path now looked mulched and cleared. Dan grew increasingly on edge when distant gunshots rang out from within the forest, followed by an unsettling scream.
Hello? Not seeing anything of note to the right. That's her gunshots.
If you're still watching, comment the hidden word thriller.
That's gunshots for sure right over there. It says they're still good here. No, that was multiple gunshots coming from that direction for sure.
While investigating further, Dan noticed odd shapes in the darkness. The feeling of being watched lingered heavily. Spirit Talker continued producing ominous phrases: greater magic, shadowy realms, blood out, and doppelganger. The phrase "you can't stay" seemed to warn him directly. Dan questioned whether whatever resided in the forest wanted him gone or was simply toying with him. Dan shared with viewers that his investigation extended onto the private property of his friend Todd, whose land backs up to the Skinwalker Forest. Todd has given Dan open access to camp and conduct his investigations there. Though this area of the property had seen its share of paranormal incidents before, including other visits where activity had been extremely high, tonight would prove more complicated. Switching to his necrometer app produced minimal interaction, with phrases like "assuredly," "fantasy," and "let's play a game, shall we," but with little follow-up. This sharp drop in activity perplexed Dan. After experiencing heavy engagement earlier, why did the activity suddenly stop? Was it the forest playing with him, or had the entities simply grown tired of his presence? Dan speculated that his previous frequent visits may have built a strange familiarity between himself and whatever haunts the area. Now, after time away, it felt as though he was a stranger again. Interestingly, after initial hostility telling him to leave, the forest eventually went silent, as if it either accepted his presence or lost interest altogether. Adding to the oddity was a chilling suggestion from Spirit Talker, referencing rituals and even mentioning a mysterious shuffle game, a possible ritual unknown to Dan. The app repeatedly warned him not to perform any rituals, reinforcing the danger often tied to skinwalker folklore. The warning seemed to coincide with the earlier scream and strange sightings, leaving an ominous cloud hanging over the entire investigation. As the evening grew late, Dan retreated to his tent, planning to resume investigation after a few hours of rest. When he returned early in the morning to continue with Spirit Talker, Necrometer, and even a spirit box, the forest had fallen into total silence. Not a single response came through, leading him to wonder if the entities had departed entirely or simply observed him from a distance. With this final encounter comes the end of another episode. If you haven't already, let me remind you again to like and subscribe. Also, leave a comment about what you liked and didn't like about this video. We always look to improve our video quality so you get the best videos possible. In about 3 seconds, there will be more disturbing videos on screen for you to watch, and with that, I'm out.